Ever met a guy who built a casino after losing a coin toss at a wedding? Neither have I. But if that story ever goes viral, chances are it starts with a video like this. Welcome, fellow dreamers. I'm Mr. Polti, your favorite gambling tech warlock, and today we're diving headfirst into how to build your own casino from scratch. I'm talking about real platforms, not shady Telegram bots, not backyard poker nights, but casinos that can handle payments, verify players, and still be standing after a million spins. We'll break down the three biggest casino models in 2025. Traditional, fully licensed and regulated. Crypto native, provably fair and DGen approved. And sweepstakes, promotional casinos that use contest mechanics instead of direct wagering. We'll cover which platform providers to pick, how to set up payments and KYC without losing sleep or sleep-deprived users, how smart CRMs activate players and keep them coming back, and how much money you actually need to launch one of these things. From shoestring indie to ball-in with a 5-figure setup, whether you're aiming to become the next Stake or you're just casino curious and like your YouTube educational videos with a dash of sarcasm, this one's for you. Let's deal in. So, you want to launch a casino, huh? Great. But before you touch a single line of code or talk to a payment processor, you need to decide what kind of casino you're building. Because casino today could mean three very different beasts. Let's start with the classic online casino. This is the most traditional model. Fully licensed, fully regulated, and fully complicated. You'll need a license from jurisdictions like Malta, the Isle of Man, or Colombia. You integrate third-party games from giants like Pragmatic or Evolution. You set up know your customer processes, and you deal with compliance documents thick enough to crush your dreams if you skip a line. The upside? Banks love you, app stores let you in, and players trust you. But it costs time, money, and nerves. Now, crypto casinos, the digital pirates of the gambling seas. These operate under lighter licenses, often from Curaçao, and they move fast. No fiat, no banks, just crypto wallets and probably fair math. Anonymity is standard, payments are instant, and onboarding is frictionless. But you won't get into the iOS store, you'll need to dodge payment bans, and you better have bulletproof tech. So this model works best when you know how to handle both code and chaos. And then we've got the sweepstakes model as the legal workaround that's become a legal business. Instead of gambling, our users play with promotional credits, and prizes are given through sweepstakes systems. It's how platforms like Chumba or Pulsel operate in the US without a gambling license. It sounds like magic, but it's all paperwork. You'll need a rock-solid legal structure, ironclad terms of service, and user flows that look like fun but are engineered for compliance. Each model has its own cost, its own risk, and its own reward. Pick the wrong one, and you'll waste 6 months. Pick the right one, and you're in business. Choose wisely. Your entire casino depends on it. Now let's get into legal stuff. Here there's one question you can't skip. Where are you getting licensed? Because in this game, you're either regulated or rejected, sometimes by your own payment processor. And picking the wrong jurisdiction can haunt you before your homepage even loads. At the top of the food chain are what we call Tier 1 regulators. This is the Malta Gaming Authority, the UK Gambling Commission, and Spain's Dirección General de Ordenación del Juego. These are the gold standard. Having one of these means banks respect you, players trust you, and business deals close with fewer NDAs. But it comes at a price. A full Malta setup can easily cost you over $100,000 in fees and compliance. And that's before your legal team bills you for explaining the tax code in Maltese. But the upside is massive. You get access to Europe, to clean payment rails, and to serious operators who won't touch anything underregulated. And then you've got Tier 2. These are middleweight contenders like the Isle of Man, the recently reformed Curaçao, and Kanawake in Canada. Think of them as the scrappy underdogs who got their act together. Cheaper, faster to get, and still recognized by most platforms and providers. Curaçao especially is worth watching now that it's moving toward a more transparent system with per operator licensing instead of that old master license mess. If you're just starting out and want a decent reputation without draining your entire budget on lawyers and tax consultants, Tier 2 licenses are the sweet spot. But you still need to play by the rules, KYC, AML, game fairness, all that jazz, or you'll be out before your first promo code hits Instagram. And finally, we have Tier 3. These are the exotic passports of the casino world. Names like Vanuatu, Anjouan, and the Comoros pop up here. Are they technically legal? Yes, they have a record. Not really. These are licenses for operators who want to move fast, avoid scrutiny, and keep costs low. But they come with serious baggage. Ad networks might block you, payment providers might ghost you, and in some countries, your entire domain might get blacklisted before your first affiliate link goes live. These licenses are not scams, but they are not winning any reputation awards either. Where your license isn't just paperwork, it defines your whole operation. From payments to partnerships to UI copy, everything bends to that choice. Pick wrong and it'll cost more than just money. Let's talk about the platform setup. Building a casino is like building a car. You can either buy one ready to drive or weld together your own chassis in the garage. Both can get you on the road, but trust me, only one comes with air conditioning and legal paperwork that doesn't catch fire. White label platforms are your plug-and-play solution. You pay a provider, they hand you a fully functional casino with games, wallets, bonus systems, KYC tools, and a shiny front end, all hosted on their infrastructure. Think SoftSwiss or BetConstruct. They've already cleared compliance hurdles, secured partnerships with top studios, and tested every line of code so you don't have to. You get to choose your skin, set up payment providers, and launch in weeks, not years. Of course, now you're renting, not owning. You can't tweak core mechanics. You depend on their roadmap, and you'll be paying a decent share of your revenue for the convenience. But if you're testing the waters or you're in MVP mode, this setup is golden. You skip headaches and focus on player acquisition. You're running a casino, not building one with duct tape. Now, if you're going full DIY, bless your brave soul. Building your own platform from scratch means writing the entire game engine, player wallet system, real-time transaction infrastructure, backend CRM, affiliate tracking, bonus logic, KYC automation, fraud prevention, reporting, game integration, APIs. The list goes on. It's expensive, it's complex, and it's slow. But the trade-off? Control. You own the IP, you can innovate wherever you want, and nobody takes a cut of your revenue or tells you can't add a dragon bonus at midnight. Companies like Playtech or Everymetrics offer frameworks or APIs to speed things up if you don't want to start completely from zero. But you'll still need a seasoned dev team, legal compliance consultants, and a serious war chest. It's not for weekend warriors. It's for operators ready to build something scalable, customizable, and future-proof. If you're just starting out, don't try to reinvent the roulette wheel. Buy one that already spins, literally. Let's dive into payment methods. A casino without a way to collect money is just a very expensive PowerPoint presentation. You can build the best game, hire the best influencers, license the best studios, but if your player can't deposit, they'll be gone faster than a jackpot on autoplay. Let's start with cards. They are the default for most online buyers, but in gambling, they come with baggage. Credit and debit card processors classify casino payments as high risk, which means higher fees, stricter fraud monitoring, and frequent rejections. Players get their transaction declined even if they've got funds. Why? Because the issuing bank sees the word casino and starts sweating compliance bullets. To accept cards safely, your payment flow has to comply with PCI DSS. That's the global security standard for handling cardholder data. And you can't just paste a Stripe form on your site and call it a day. You'll need a licensed processor that supports your target regions, filters by BN numbers, and lets you retry payments smartly. It works, but it's not plug and play. Now let's talk local options, the real heroes in LATAM and the US. In Brazil, if your site doesn't offer Pix, you're invisible. In Mexico, SPAY is your lifeline. These are instant bank transfers, fast, cheap, and wildly popular. They integrate via third-party processors like PaxSmile or dLocal, and if you're not using them, good luck getting volume. In the US, it gets weird. You might end up using PayNearMe, a system where people can walk into a 7-Eleven and deposit cash for online gaming. Yes, real cash, real 7-Eleven. Welcome to America. These methods are gold because they reduce chargebacks and work for unbanked users, but every country has its own preferred method. So study your target market like a gambling anthropologist. Finally, crypto. Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, fast, decentralized, and increasingly accepted. Players love it for speed, anonymity, and global access. You love it because there are no chargebacks and no banks breathing down your neck, but there's volatility. That $10 deposit might be worth $8 tomorrow. And there's regulation. In some regions, crypto gambling is still a gray zone, and you'll need to prove KYC even on chain-based users. Providers like CoinsPaid, Now Payments, or AAA help bridge the gap with on-ramps, stablecoins, and compliance layers. But don't get too comfy. Regulators are catching up, and not all markets love the blockchain buzzword. In short, your payment strategy isn't just back-end plumbing. It's your lifeline. Get it wrong, and you'll watch your conversion rates flatline while your competitors collect the chips. Let's be honest, you're not just running a casino. You're running a border checkpoint in a tuxedo. Welcome to KYC and AML, where your job is to keep the fun going without accidentally onboarding a war criminal or a crypto whale with a fake passport. KYC starts with 3 basic things: identification, proof of funds, and location. At minimum, your platform has to confirm a government-issued ID, ideally cross-check it with a selfie or biometric scan, verify that the player's money isn't coming from suspicious sources, and ensure they are accessing from an approved jurisdiction. That means integrating document upload flows, OCR, facial matching, IP and device tracking. And yes, this has to work on mobile too. You'll also need to detect VPNs and proxies because, surprise, surprise, people lie. All of this must happen fast without scaring off new users. Welcome to the dance of friction versus compliance. Now, unless you plan on doing this manually, and I don't recommend becoming a full-time passport inspector, you'll need a third-party provider. Companies like SumSub, Onfido, and Veriff specialize in automated KYC and AML checks. They plug into your sign-up flow and handle everything from document validation to liveness detection to background scans. Some even offer risk scoring based on the player's digital footprint. Prices vary depending on volume, region, and level of detail, but expect to pay somewhere between $1 and $4 per verification. That may sound steep until you consider the cost of onboarding a problem user and getting flagged by your regulator. One false positive is annoying. One missed red flag is a headline. And then there's the deep stuff. AML protocols. You need to monitor for PPs, politically exposed persons, off-fact lists, self-excluded gamblers, and behavioral anomalies like money mule patterns or high-volume churn. The best systems use rule-based alerts and machine learning to spot risky behavior early. Is someone depositing in crypto, cashing out in fiat, and losing just enough to avoid suspicion? That's a flag. Is someone spinning non-stop at 2 in the morning on autopilot with perfect timing? That might be a bot, or worse, an abuser. Your CRM and backend need to talk to your KYC system, and your support team needs to know what to do when the alarms go off. Bottom line, KYC is not optional. It's not just about checking IDs. It's about knowing who's sitting at your digital table and making sure they're not bringing heat with them. Do it right, and you keep the regulators happy and your platform clean. Do it wrong, and you might find yourself explaining risk scoring to a very unamused financial authority. If you are paying $100 to bring in a player, you better love them, hug them, and send them a birthday bonus. Otherwise, you wasted your ad budget and gave them to your competitor for free. Retention isn't just a nice to have, or it's your profit center. That means you need systems to re-engage players the second they start slipping away. Most casinos run the basics. Welcome bonuses, reload offers, free spins on Thursdays. But the pros go deeper. Loyalty tiers, personalized win-back campaigns, birthday rewards, weekend missions. The goal? Keep players feeling valued and seen. High rollers get VIP treatment, dedicated hosts, cashback deals, priority withdrawals, small fish get gamified progress bars, and almost there nudges. You're not running a game. You're running a dopamine factory with CRM triggers. And none of that works without the right tech stack. Platforms like FastTrack, Optimove, and even old-school HubSpot let you automate lifecycle messaging, segment your players based on behavior, and A/B test like a mad scientist. You want to know who bets big at night, who only plays live dealer, who always cashes out at 25% loss. And then you want to speak to each one differently. These platforms integrate with your backend and your game events, letting you send a push notification 10 seconds after a near miss, or drop a bonus the first time someone deposits with crypto. Done right, this isn't spam. It's psychological choreography. Because here's the truth. Acquisition is loud and expensive, retention is quiet and cheap, and the casinos that win are the ones who master the quiet part. CRM isn't just email marketing. It's player psychology with a scheduler. Your casino might look like Las Vegas on the front end, but if the backend runs on Excel macros and hope, you're already in trouble. First, let's talk infrastructure. You'll need servers, real ones. Cloud platforms like AWS and Google Cloud are the go-to choices for scalability and uptime. Dedicated servers? Maybe if you're feeling old school or need to meet local hosting rules in regulated markets. But cloud lets you handle thousands of concurrent sessions without crashing when your influencer promo goes viral. Your backend should handle real-time wallet updates, game logic processing, player session management, and compliance logs. You don't want to find out your database is on fire during a bonus hunt weekend. Build it like a fintech, because, well, it is. Now, security. Players are trusting you with their identity and their money. That means full PCI DSS compliance for payment data, a web application, firewall to keep the script kiddies out, and constant DDoS protection so your site doesn't vanish every time you make a splash on Telegram. Anti-fraud systems should run 24/7, flagging anomalies like impossible win streaks or multi-accounting with VPNs. And yes, those will happen. Build-in analytics, verification layers, and if possible, plug in a fraud detection API like Xeon or Count. Remember, casinos are juicy targets for hackers, scammers, and your cousin with a cracked version of Kali Linux. Without a solid technical foundation, you're not running a casino. You're playing roulette with your backend. And in this game, the crash isn't just a mechanic, it's a lawsuit waiting to happen. And finally, some extra advice. Because if you just throw in the same 500 titles every other casino has, you're not building a brand. You're building a spreadsheet with a login. The smartest operators pick their games strategically, and the bold ones go further. They build their own. Custom crash games, exclusive slots, unique spins, that's how you stand out in a sea of clones. And if you have any doubts, we actually made a whole video on crash games if you want to go deeper. Or even how to build your own gambling game. Your games are your voice. Make it loud. Alright, legends, you've just taken a crash course in building a casino from scratch. We went from platforms to payments, from compliance headaches to marketing tech stacks. Now you know why this business can be a gold mine or a six-figure regulatory fine with your name on it. If you've made it this far, thanks, you're a legend. If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you want us to go deeper into sweepstakes casinos or build one from zero life on the channel, drop it in the comments. I'm Mr. Polty, your friendly neighborhood gambling tech Sherpa. See you in Vegas.